Alright, what is going on, guys? So I have a very special video today. I'm going to be talking about my own tier list just for 5 stars. And before I get into anything in this video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I actually talked to Seatin about this, actually like more than a week ago. I was like, yo dude, I wanted to put together my own tier list, 5 stars. I told him, like, if he doesn't want me to do it, it's totally cool. I don't want to step on anyone's toes in the community. Of course, I want to do my own content. And he's like, bro, it's totally okay to do your own tier list. Because me and him are obviously gonna have different opinions. It's like, yeah, totally, man, make your own. Say why I rate stuff differently than him and everything. So yeah, this is gonna be my tier list. If you guys want to check out Seatin's tier list, see his thoughts, go ahead and check that out. That's on his channel. He has one for all the champions in the game and then just 5 stars. So yeah, mine today is just gonna be all about the 5 stars. Every 5 star currently available in the game. So yeah, I just want to get that out of the way, that Seatin's totally cool with this video. Me and him are good friends. It's totally cool. And yeah, so let's hop into my list, and I'm going to explain pretty much everything on it. I'm not going to get into every single champion, but we're going to get into all the good stuff. So, before we get into anything, as you guys can see here, there's a little unknown, and I put this over here because, first of all, Thor Ragnarok, I've played around with him. Oh, it's a 5 star. I haven't seen any really 5 star gameplay, so I'm not confident in putting him anywhere on this list yet, so I'm just going to leave him alone. I'm not going to be putting him on this list. Same for Hela. I have not touched Hela one bit, only fought her in the not the Vanquishing Blows, but in the Test of Valor and in the event quest. So I honestly think she's going to surprise people and be a good champion. That's what I'm hoping, at least. But yeah, I have no idea, so I'm not going to put her anywhere else either. And there's also Loki on here. I put him in the garbage tier because Loki's trash. But with the synergy, I think I could put him in God tier. I could put him in God tier with the synergy. But it might be nerfed. It might be nerfed. There's a post on the forums today talking about it, that they're looking into it or something. So I'm just going to leave him over here. But just know, if it does not get nerfed, I think he'd make it into the God tier. So first, let me hop into the... I'm going to go through this. We're going to go through the garbage tier real quick. And then we're going to go from top to bottom. So, garbage tier: Carnage, Red Hulk, She-Hulk, Groot, Luke Cage, Venom, again, Loki, but special circumstances for him, Black Panther, Civil War, Hulkbuster, Iron Patriot, Ant-Man, and Colossus. This tier is when you open up... The way I see this tier is when you open up a 5-star feature crystal. If you get one of these champions, you're pissed off, and you have every right to be absolutely pissed off if you pull one of these champions, because these champions suck. These champions suck, and you're not going to be ranking them up past rank 1. Maybe if you want to rank your 5 stars, honestly, it's a waste of T1 alphas, unless you're in the position to do so. But these are champions you would never, ever even think about taking to rank 4. I mean, maybe if you really like the champion, you think you're going to do something with them. I mean, everyone can do whatever they want with their own account. But me personally, I would never, ever rank for one of these champions. But the one champion, maybe Carnage, just for prestige, and because he's probably going to get a buff, but still, I still wouldn't. But yes, that's the trash tier. These are just champions that you don't want, and if you pull them or dupe them, you're pissed, and you have the right to be. That's this tier, man. It's garbage, absolute garbage. But yeah, so as you guys can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiers in the unknown. My list definitely looks different than Seatin, and I wanted mine to be different, of course. So yeah, I have the 2 highest tiers are godly. And I think this kind of translates to Seatin's God tier, but then I have a tier above that, and I call it the Omni Tier. Like the omnipotent, all those Omni words, it's like above everything, So above godly, the Omni Tier. That's what I'm calling it. That's what I'm going with. And yeah, let's get into the Omni Tier, guys. So the Omni Tier is just the best champions in the game. These are the champions that I would take to rank 5 as a 5 star. And I would take every single one of those champions as a 5 star rank 5, except for maybe Star-Lord, because I'm done Labyrinth of Legends. So yeah, first let me touch on that Star-Lord, because when I was making this list, I had Star-Lord in the godly tier. Then I decided to move him to the Omni tier, because he deserves to be in there, I think, because his damage, if you get to 400 hits, man, that damage is insane. Another one thing just to say about my list is these are the champions with, in the ideal scenario. So let's say Dr. Voodoo, for example, he's on here. He's on here if he's awakened. If he's not awakened, he wouldn't be a godly champion. And this my list takes into account pretty much everything in the game, everything. So yeah, that's why Star-Lord's there, because he is the best option for Labyrinth of Legends, hands down. I do think that the other champions in the Omni are better than him, but not at Labyrinth of Legends, not in Labyrinth of Legends. So he's on there for that, and because there's probably going to be another Labyrinth maybe where he's useful for that. But yeah, he's on Omni mainly for Labyrinth of Legends. He's the best damage output dealer in the game when it comes to long fights. He deserves it. He deserves it. Top of the list, Stark Spidey. These aren't in any order, by the way. I have an order in my head, but I'm not going to put that in the video because that's just going to make people mad. But yeah, Stark Spider-Man. I think this is one of the best characters in the game, for sure. Definitely makes it into my top 3. He's just such a good champion. Such a good champion. He has decent prestige, so much utility. I think he's the second best Labyrinth of Legends option in the game overall, as one like main damage output dealer. After Star-Lord, of course. Just such a great champion. I'm so glad to have that champion. Next up is Blade. Again, I'm glad to have Blade as well. Blade, just phenomenal prestige. Like, I think it's pretty sure it's the second best 5-star prestige in the game, next to like Thor Ragnarok. The regen on this champion is amazing. That's honestly not what makes the champion at all, I don't think. His danger sense is just so good. It can be enhanced with synergies, which is amazing. So, like in Labyrinth, when you need to take down certain champions, you can bring the synergies for it, which I did, which I can tell you was great. Blade was great, and if my Blade was awakened, it would have been better. And yeah, I think he's just such a great champion, such a great damage output dealer, such a great utility champion, unawakened. Plus, when he's awakened, infinite regen capability based on his power, which he gains more power by bleeding the opponent. It's just such a good cycle to have. He's just such a good overall champion. So good. Next up, Archangel. One of my personal favorites. The 5-star champion I want most right now. Archangel's amazing, guys. He makes Omni. Now, I know people can say, yeah, against a double immune or a single immune, he sucks. He doesn't suck against them. But yeah, he's majorly gimped. He does need to be able to bleed and poison the target. And if he can, his damage is just insane, comparable to maybe only Star-Lord. Just such a good overall champion, so much utility with his ability reduction on his neurotoxins. I just rate Archangel so well. Yes, he does have that weakness to the immunities, and that's why I honestly think he's not going to get nerfed, because he does have a major weakness to that. But when he doesn't have that major weakness, he's just so good. He's just so good. I think he's definitely deserving of that spot. Next up, Magic. Magic is just the best power control champion in the game. One of the best power lockers in the game, if not the best. Maybe only comparable to Doc Ock in that regard. Such a good overall champion. Great 5-star prestige. It starts out pretty bad, but it scales very nicely. Limbo. Limbo is very underrated. I think Magic is definitely worth rank 4 unawakened as a 5-star. But her signature ability, it's no slouch, man. It's no slouch. It's so good. Limbo is just so good. You can have Limbo up a lot of the time. She's just so good everywhere. Defense, offense, war, AQ, regular questing. If you're a good interceptor and you can intercept around this character, it's just so great. I think another one of the great things, like when I first picked up this champion and started using her, she felt like Scarlet Witch, and I played so much Scarlet Witch that this champion just felt so easy, and intercepting with her was just, it came so naturally after using Scarlet Witch. And you can adapt to a totally new intercepting style, and it's just a lot of fun. Such a great character. Next up, Iceman. Iceman is just overall such a good champion. He can be used anywhere at any time. You can take any path with him. Triple immune. You can best counter from Mephisto. He's just Iceman, man. He's the immunity god. His ice armor is so good, so good. Take L3s for days. His cold snap, canceling out evasion, countering Spider-Man, Nightcrawler is so good. And his frostbite charges. I think that's probably my favorite part, if not the ice armor, about this champion, is his frostbite charges. They are so underrated. They give him really good damage output, actually. And they're not a debuff, so it can work against debuff immune nodes. It's so underrated, and you can detonate them, get even more damage with heavy. I really like that aspect of this character. He's just such a great feel. such a smooth champion, just so good. And then yeah, again, Star-Lord, best Labyrinth of Legends option in the game. So yeah, he's up there. But in my position, where I'm at, I don't think I'd take Star-Lord to rank 4. Where I'm at now, again, because I have Stark Spidey. If you have Stark Spidey, you don't need Star-Lord. But yeah, he's deserving of it. I put him in Omni, guys. So yeah, I definitely think he's worth it, especially if you have not done Labyrinth. He's saved you a lot of resources. If I had a Star-Lord, I could have saved a lot of resources for sure. So yeah, he's there. So I don't want to hear it. Oh, he should have been in the top tier. He's there. So yeah, that's the Omni tier. Let's get over to the Godly tier. So for Godly, first up, Gwenpool. And again, this is in no order. Gwenpool, she doesn't quite make the Omni tier for me. Mainly because, I don't know, she's a great champion, don't get me wrong. I really like the champion as a 5-star. I really rate the 5-star more than the 4-star. And then what I mean by that is Iceman as a 4-star I really rate, and Iceman as a 5-star I really rate. But Gwenpool as a 4-star I don't rate nearly as much as I would a 5-star version. I just feel she scales a lot better as a 5-star. And yeah, she has the bleeds. She has great damage output even against against bleed immune champions. The armor break gives her an insane damage output. She has ability reduction. She has an interesting power control mechanic. There's just nothing else. She can tank special 3s, but I don't know. I can't put her in the Omni tier. She's close. She's definitely close. But yeah, I definitely think she deserves Godly tier. She's at the higher tier of the Godly tier. Yeah, really great champion. I'd love to have a Gwenpool, but she just doesn't quite make the Omni tier. Yeah. Next up, Ghost Rider. Again, I love Ghost Rider. One of my favorite champions to play in the game. So much utility, and I love a champion that the way you play him is different for the champion you're fighting. Because the way you play with your judgments, if you're fighting a bleed immune, you want to get that one out of the way first. If you're heal blocked, get the regen out of the way first to make your other judgments stronger. I like how you can just the controllability of this character. One of the best regens in the game, for sure, if not the best. It could be argued that Blades is better because it's infinite. Well, Ghost Rider is infinite too, technically. But yeah, just his regen is so good. AQ, absolute Alliance Quest god. He's just such a great champion. You got bleed immunity as well, and just utility for every situation. You have power control, heal block. So much going on for this character. He's just so good. Also, amazing 5-star prestige. Just a great overall character. Next up, Dr. Voodoo. This is a champion that I really rate, and again, he's very close to making it into the Omni tier as well. A lot of these champions are, but he just doesn't quite get there for me, and maybe some other people would put him in the Omni tier, but he has so much going on, and it's at the point where I think it's a little bit too much going on, especially in a fight, because when you're in a fight, you have so much stuff to worry about. Now, if this is a Labyrinth of Legends fights, there's enigmatic abilities, which mean more stuff to worry about. If you're in Alliance War, the enemies have masteries, but like Mystic Dispersion, more stuff to worry about, and all that stuff. I'd say Dr. Voodoo is the most complicated character in the game, if not Doc Ock. Just so much going on and so much to control in a fight that I don't want to have to be counting out my combo. I don't want to have to be doing a whole bunch of stuff that I'm doing with Dr. Voodoo. Don't get me wrong, I really rate this character. Amazing prestige, amazing utility, good regen, amazing power control, good poison damage output, but just so much going on. I don't want to have to worry about all these different variables, especially in a fight where I'm throwing that much more variables. Like a character like Magic, her power control is simple. You use the L2, they're power locked. It's so simple, you intercept. I like that. I like the simplistic aspect of Magic. Don't get me wrong, I like complicated characters, but Dr. Voodoo, like I said, it just gets to that point where it's too much going on in a fight. But you can definitely control it, and obviously there's going to be people that are better at controlling it than others. Yeah, I really like the character, but yeah, it's quite just not there, again, for the Omni tier. Doc Ock. Doc Ock is great. I'm very surprised when this character came out. He's a very confusing champion. But his power lock, Unawakened, is one of the best in the game, rivaled only by Magic. It's crazy. This character has so much utility, so much going on. Power control, heal block, health steal, power steal with awakened ability. I'm pretty sure that's how it works when he's awakened, his power control. Very confusing champion. But yeah, I really like him. I might go for the 5-star. Really cool champion, and I really like him. Next up, Medusa. Medusa, she's an interesting one. She's starting to grow on me. I will say she is starting to grow on me. Very interesting. Her prestige at like Sig 20, same with Doc Ock, is nuts. It doesn't scale the best, but early on prestige is amazing. Especially where I'm at in the game. Like, you don't have a lot of signature stones. That prestige is really good. Her damage output is insane. She doesn't rely on bleeds. She armor shatters, which is very unique. Really like that, actually. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. But next up, Hyperion. Now, I want to compare Medusa and Hyperion here because there's starting to be talk. Who's better? Who's better, Medusa or Hyperion? Now, Seatin says that Hyperion is better, and Brian Grant says Medusa's better. Two of the biggest MCC YouTubers in the game. And they have conflicting opinions of the best cosmic character, which is very interesting, and I like this debate. Now, the thing I was going to say is Medusa's synergies. That's what I don't like about this character, how people say she relies on her synergies, which she does not rely on them, but yes, they are quite important. If you're, say, doing something like Labyrinth of Legends, you definitely want to bring along those synergies if you're going to use Medusa. But Hyperion versus Medusa, the way I see it is these characters are both up here. And what really boosts them and puts them up there is their damage output. But to get that damage output, you're sacrificing something on both sides. For Medusa, it's the synergies. So you're sacrificing team space. With Hyperion, it's using heavy attacks. And don't get me wrong, a skilled player can use heavy attacks throughout a fight, no problem. But in something where Labyrinth of Legends, yes, you can still use heavy attacks, even though you can't always parry. You can bait heavies, use heavies, but you're taking block damage. If you're not, you can bait heavies without taking block damage. It is difficult, and it doesn't always work. But yes, you can. I don't want to hear that argument because you can, but it does not always work. And baiting heavies is just a clunky mechanic mid-fight, which is how you really scale up Hyperion's damage. So I feel that it's really Hyperion's heavies versus Medusa's synergies, which just pulls the character down. But you take away both. You take away Hyperion's heavies, so no Furies, and you take away Medusa's synergies. Then who's better? Then I think it's Medusa. But both of them with them, it's tough, man. I don't know. I think Hyperion might get it. I think Medusa might get it. It's really tough. They're both great champions. That's why they're both in this here. But I'm gonna have to make a video, I think, of them both of them versus each other, which one's better. But overall, I think I'd rather have Medusa just so I don't have to worry about the heavy attacks. Don't get me wrong, I know how to do them. I know how to do them without taking block damage, but I don't want to have to use heavy attacks all the time. Don't want to have to worry about it. And I like the way Medusa works a bit more. Hyperion also does have the regen, which is underrated, I would say. His regen is actually not too bad in Alliance Quest. He's good for poison lanes. But yeah, overall, I think I'd give it to Medusa a bit. I don't know. I'd prefer better prestige as well. But yeah, both just great characters. That's why they're on this list. All right, next up, Wolverine X23. I really rate Wolverine X23. Great champion you pull. Does not need to be awakened. I'd take it to rank 4 myself on awakened. I consider even using an awakening gem, but that's another idea for another video. 5 stars to awaken. But yeah, man, Wolverine X23. I really rate the character. Great damage output. Great regen. She can do Labyrinth of Legends. She needs all 4 synergies though to do it. So she can't really 100%, but she can do a good chunk. But yeah, I really rate this character. I would love to pull her. And yeah, so next up is Rogue. Rogue might be a questionable one by some people, but Rogue is underrated, definitely in the community. And I just think it's because she just has so much going on, but she doesn't excel in one aspect as much. She just has a lot going on, which I definitely think she deserves to be in the God tier. But yeah, I feel like people don't like her because she's not the best power controller or the best regener, but she has both, which, I mean, and great prestige. Shrugs off poison and bleed, which is really nice, really fast, all debuffs, 70% reduction. I definitely think she deserves it, and I think she's underrated in the community. Yeah. Next up, the next two are a little more questionable. Ultron. Now, double immune god, AQ god, just like Ghost Rider. The regen is crazy good. I think his character is just great. Overall character. His damage output is lacking, same as Ghost Rider, but they make up for it with the regen and the immunities, especially Ultron. The double immunities is just amazing. So yeah, I definitely think he's worth the godly tier. Yeah. Again, does not need to be awakened, but he does get help from it. Next up, Quake. Now, Quake, she's the questionable one in this god tier. When I was putting her, I had her in the amazing tier. I moved her up to god tier. Had a debate on this one, but the way I see it, the best Quake player in the world. I'm not saying I am. I definitely know how to use her. I'm definitely a good Quake player, which you need to be. If she's going to be on a god tier champion for you, you need to be able to play her correctly. And if she is played correctly to the best Quake player in the world, she's definitely deserving the god tier. The things you can do with her if you play perfectly is crazy. You can legit stand against the wall against a stun immune character, and like I said, if you're the best Quake player in the world, you're not going to get touched. You're going to sit there, charge heavies, evade, manually evade. You could sit there all day, not taking any damage if you're skilled enough, against even a stun immune boss, and you're just going to be chipping them down without taking any damage. And if you can do that, I mean, and not get hit, I can't do that. I don't know anyone who can, but it's possible. And if you can do it, that's just amazing. And the play style and the theoretical aspect of playing Quake to this perfection puts her here. Now, but that depends on your skill. So that's my reasoning for putting her there. So yeah, that's my Omni and Godly tier. I'm not going to go into depth on every other champion. But yeah, I want to hear you guys' arguments because there's going to be contradicting opinions to my list. So yeah, and if you ask me why I put a champion somewhere, I'm going to tell you. I'll try to get to all the comments on this video. How long has this been going for? 22 minutes. Alright, I should hurry up. We'll probably stop this around 25 minutes. But yeah, I want to hear you guys' arguments and your opinions. If I should put a champion here, if I should put a champion there, tell me why. I'll argue why I put that champion there. And hey, if you convince me, I'll change it for the next one. Yeah, let me just go over the amazing tier though real quick. Hulk, great champion, poison immunity, good damage output, but he just doesn't make it to god tier for me. After watching Brian Grant do his Labyrinth of Legends with Hulk, he timed out against a 1.5 million opponent twice. Both in rage timers. That's over like 17 minutes long. I just can't put him into the godly tier. I can't do it. But he's definitely an amazing champion. Yondu, great champion. But yeah, I don't think he makes it in god tier. Dormammu, great defender. He's a good attacker, but much better on defense. Definitely a BS defender. If this was just for defense, he'd definitely be in the Omni tier. Angela is really interesting. I want to talk about her because I've seriously been thinking about taking my Angela to rank 4. I think I'm gonna. She's a great champion. Great damage output. Does not need to be awakened. She actually has really good 5-star prestige. Needs to be a lot of signature stones to get there though. So yeah, at the lower levels, her prestige isn't the best, but she does scale really well. Yeah, she's an interesting champion. Great damage, great with suicides. She has some regen. Yeah, I think I might rank for her. I'm actually really glad that I got her on the Stark Spidey Crystal. Definitely an interesting champion. Yeah, and I put in brackets R4able for the amazing tier. All these champions are R4able. Depends on your situation. So yeah, any other champions I want to talk about? Ultron Classic, he might be moved to the godly tier. I need to do more testing with him. I'm going to do him versus the other Ultron video. And yeah, there's a chance he can move. I don't think he will, but there's a chance there. One thing to go over here, the little stars, these are for the champions that are not in the 5-star pool. So if we pull up this here, this is the current, all the 5-star champions in the game. We can move this here, make it this a bit bigger. These are all the 5 stars currently in the game. But there's also this, which is all the champions in the game, and a couple champions that are not mentioned on the other list. Ultron right here. Mortal Iron Fist, Unstoppable Colossus, and Punisher. So yeah, they're not mentioned on the other list because they are not available in the 5-star pool. So yeah, Ultron Classic, he's here. Immortal Iron Fist is here. Unstoppable Colossus is here. And Punisher is right here. So one thing I wanted to touch on, Immortal Iron Fist is here, but regular Iron Fist is over here. Now, the reasoning behind this is, right now, myself, having Iron Fist, I would D-rank him in a heartbeat. But if I pulled an Immortal Iron Fist and awakened him, I would seriously consider taking him to rank 4 if I did not have this Iron Fist at rank 4, knowing what I know now about the character. One, the rarity, just a commodity of having this champion, having people look at your account, seeing that champion, that'd be just, people like, he got that champion, you know. I'd want people to look at my account like that. He is an overall better champion than this one, better prestige as well. Yeah, again, a big push behind that is, again, you have someone look at your account and they're like, holy crap, they have a Immortal Iron Fist. Like, you want people to look at your account and think that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I would rank 4 as champion. That's why he's here. That's why he's here. These champions, I could see rank 4ing them. Some other questionable characters here. Civil Warrior. Civil Warrior, I think he's very underrated. He has amazing block proficiency, which is very important. He has power lock and power drain capabilities, also heal block. I think he's very underrated. I think he's a good champion. Anything else I want to go over here? Phoenix, godly prestige. That's why she's here. One of the reasons. Also, she's very underrated as well. If you're not a player, she's a good champion. That's pretty much it, guys, for this list. Yeah, so if there's any questions why I put a champion somewhere, leave it down there. I'm going to try to read all the comments, respond to all the ones that are referred back to me. So, guys, that is my tier list. I hope you guys did enjoy. And let me know if you guys did, because I'm going to be having another tier list coming. Can't really say too much about it, but it's going to be a collaboration with me and some other people. So you're going to have my views and their views. So that'll be very interesting to do. It's not going to be as 5-star oriented as this one. That's all I'm going to say. Not going to say anymore. So yeah, guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. Again, Seatin had given me the permission, the good to go. Didn't want to step on his toes. So yeah, I want to hear all the arguments. There's going to be a lot of arguments. I'm ready, though. I'm ready to defend my own opinions on this. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave the like button. Hit that like button, guys, because my spreadsheet skills have gotten better. This video took me like 2 hours to make. I counted out all the champions, made sure I had them all in here. If I missed one, let me know. Pretty sure I didn't. But yeah, I definitely amped up my spreadsheet game. I'd say this looks pretty nice compared to the last one. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for more content, more tier lists to come, a lot more videos to come, guys, especially 5-star oriented. I really want my channel to be where you can come for that end game 5-star content, 5-star what you would do in certain scenarios. I think this is a great way to start doing off those kind of videos. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking, guys. It's been a long video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.